Hello everyone, I'm David from Ozone and we're here today at the beach making this video to explain you why foil kites are easier to use than people may think, and also to give you some tips and tricks about how to set it up, how to launch it, and also how to drop it safely. So let's start with the setup. All foil kites are very easy to set up and fast if you know how to. This is why we're going to be explaining now step by step all the process. When it comes brand new from factory, you will have to work it out a bit on the bridles first and also on your contact system to connect the lines. But after that, if following the steps, it will be very easy. When you get to the beach, you want to choose a big open area and empty out of obstacles, without any sharp wood sticks or anything that could damage the kite. You need to have enough space to lay your kite down and launch without any risk. Knowing the wind direction is essential, as after taking your kite out of the bag, you need to lay and unroll the kite down following the same direction. This would flag out the kite and make it easy for you to prepare. Once the kite is on the ground, secure it from flying away by just adding some sand on top of a bent kite tip. The kite has an external zip in the middle of the kite close to the trailing edge. Or what the foil kites are closed cell kites, which means it has valves that keep the air inside. Closing the zip before launching is necessary to keep the kite structure solid and full of air once we launch it. Working on bridles can look stressful, but it's quite simple and easier if you leave them organized and connected after every session. There are 3 levels of connection point on this kite, plus the breaks: the A's, the B's, and the C's, coming from the leading edge to the trailing edge. They all go connected in the speed system, so best is if we hold it and check them from there. The idea is to give all bridles a slight tension so we can see if there are any tangles between each other. So this is our speed system and it has all the bridle connections attached to the kite. So as you can see here, we got the A connector lines, the B's, the C's, and then the brakes. That is going to be connected to the steering lines and it's going to make the kite react as you want. What you want to make sure is that these ones are clean. They are not tangled to the others and that they are free of any obstacles or whatever plans or anything attached. Once we have individually worked the group of A's, B's and C's, we can check they are good. We will detach the front line steering line connection from the speed system, leave them right in the ground, and unroll the lines of a control system for connection. One of the things I like the most of the foil kites is that you don't need any assistance to get in the water and you can get out very quick. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you launch the kite in the edge of the wind window like you would do with any other kite. So to make sure you can launch it progressively and safely without risking yourself or anyone else around. To launch the kite, connect the clicking loop in your harness hook or slider and secure it with your leash. Then you need to give a slight tension in your lines to make a last check that you set everything right. To do so, you just have to walk a few steps backward, but keep in mind you don't launch the kite while walking backwards. To launch the kite, gently walk upwind and towards the wind while keeping the same line tension all the time. The kite will launch by itself and you only need to control the power and steering to make sure it launches with the right direction. Sometimes when you first launch it on the same session, The tips can be without air and creating some carvets. You have here the braid handles that when you throw them, it would stall the kite down. When you release it, it would shoot forward, inflating the remaining parts of the kite. To stop after your session, you will probably need an assistant to take your kite for you. So it's important that you guide them and explain them how to do it properly in order to help you out. The first step is to land the kite in the edge of the wind window like any other inflatable kite, which is the area where the kite has less power. Just walk and position yourself correctly, so you can start dropping the kite in a progressive way, taking it towards your assistant. As soon as the kite gets closer, the assistant will have to take the tip that is closer to the ground and lay the kite down, flagging it out in the same wind direction. The assistant should bend the tip of the kite and place some sand on top of it to avoid the kite flying away. One note here is that when you roll the bar back to finish a session and pack, you can leave your bar connected or you can disconnect your lines from the kite. Our recommendation is to leave the bar connected, so it will be way faster when you want to go for a session again afterwards. Otherwise, you can always take it, remove it, place it back again, and use this other bar for whatever other kite that you may have. In this case, we're going to leave it connected. We're going to get closer to the kite, and we are going to store these lines inside this little Velcro, so it gets inside, and put all these remaining bridles inside the kite so they will not disturb us when we're packing.
If you would like to disconnect your bar from your kite, it can be easily done. You just want to make sure you leave the bridles as well organized as possible so you will be able to do a quick setup on your next session. The first step, you need to disconnect the lines from the speed system connection points. Once you disconnect them, connect the two ends of your speed system together with the larynx nut and repeat the same process on the other half of your kite. This will avoid future tangles on your bridle lines. Once the speed system line connections are attached together, place all the bridles on top of the kite and keep the speed system ends stored in a Velcro tab, located in the trailing edge. You can make a figure 8 knot to avoid them sliding through the Velcro tab and keep them all together. Then proceed with the packing.
One of the things we have to remember is to open the zip back again to take all the air out of the kite. So we'll open it again and then we can proceed on the packing. So as the kite still has some remaining air inside, what I'm going to do is bend it in half so all the air could come out from the zip pocket that we opened up before. We're going to join tip to tip and then we can start just rolling it in half. As you guys can see here, when we're rolling, it's taking all the air out. After all the air has come out, it would be interesting that you close it half or almost all of it, so there was not going to be sand or anything coming inside the internal structure of the rammer kite. So you can leave it a little bit open and then finally bend it to pack it and store it in your bag.